Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Decklist here. Today we're going to be covering over Gardevoir EX. Now, Gardevoir EX has long been a staple in our metagame since Scarlet and Violet was released. It's come second at the European International Championships, made top 4 twice at North American International Championships, and Tor just came second at Worlds with the deck. Now, we did just get our Obsidian Flames set, and of course we're going to be diving into that as well, but what does Gardevoir look like in our current format? In this video, I'll be sharing over the deck list, the strategy, gameplay, and more. That being said, if you are trying to pick up any Gardevoirs or any other cards, go to our sponsors, Atlas or Deckout. They have their discount codes in our description. Or if you're trying to get them online, go to ptcglstore.com and use the TSS 5 discounts. We've got a lot of great things going on in the description, so check out all of those links. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and let's jump into the deck list. Be sure to check out all of the sponsors of the Shuffle Squad, whether you're looking for graded cards, you're looking for singles, sealed. We have all affiliate codes with all of our great sponsors, so be sure to check them out in the description below. Thank you so much for supporting us. Here we have it, the deck list. I do want to give a quick shout out to my pal Tyler Zacoris, testing partner, teammate, friend, for really playing this version of a list. They won a challenge the other day, and I think it's a proof of concept of how strong something like this can be. I changed up a couple of cards from their list, maybe one card, and I changed the Ralts over, but this is a very solid Gardevoir list heading into Pittsburgh, Barcelona, Curitiba, and all the other local events and everything else that we have coming from there. That being said, our goal is to get out a few Kirlia with refinement. We do play Mirage Gate Kirlia if everything does not work out for us early on in the game. We do have Iono as a mid-game disruptor or late-game disruptor, and we could draw out of it with refinement or Gardevoir from Chilling Reign Shining Arcana ability. We're able to accelerate a bunch of energies with Gardevoir EX's Psychic Brace ability, and we get a bunch of those in the discard pile with refinement, with concealed cards, etc., etc. Now, there's a couple noticeable differences between Tor's finalist lists and this list. Nothing insane, but they do exist. So, I've been a huge advocate of the Ralts that has Psyshot. And people are like, yo, just play Teleportation Burst, whatever. We just can't play all of the Memory Skip. The Memory Skip is arguably the best Ralts, but it's because it has 60 HP. So if you ever run into anything that's weird, you could use Memory Skip and maybe just stop your opponent. We saw this during EUIC where you could stop Alolan Vulpix's attack, maybe they don't have a response, and then you're able to jump back into the game. The Ralts with Psyshot, I think, is technically better than the Teleportation Burst, and feel free to open up this discussion in the comments. I'd love to have this discussion with a lot of people. Teleportation Burst does 10 and switches you to the bench. That's cool, but what exactly does switching to the bench do? If you're in the active position, you could just retreat. The 10 damage largely does not matter. But when it comes to something like Ralts using Psyshot, doing a little bit of extra damage could knock out a Gardevoir in mirror that damaged itself with Psychic Embrace to get a knockout on one of your other Pokemon. So I think the damage that you're doing slash the potential KO in mirror gives it a little bit of an edge, and you get that nice silver border as well. Beyond that, the other big changes that we have here from Tord's list are, I have a copy of Worker, no research. There's a lot of ability lock now compared to what there was at Worlds. That's something that you want to factor in when your deck is based off of using Psychic Embrace. There's a double Zacian in here, and the reason why there's double Zacian is because there's Lumineon is going to get cut off in path a lot of the times. So we need to play double Zacian, especially if we're playing Forest Seal Stone and Sky Seal Stone. In this case, Forest Seal Stone and Sky Seal Stone both work out pretty well, but in this case we can search them and kind of use them as our own leisure, obviously once per game, with Town Store, a new card from Obsidian Flames. Searching our deck for a single tool, and also counting as a path bump. Those are really the big changes that we got going on here. The list is available in the description. Again, most of our sponsors have the copies of these cards physically, or you can get the digital PTCG live codes. So check out the description and help support the Shuffle Squad. And I'm not just saying that, I really mean check out those websites and actually check them out. I'm kind of perusing through them on the daily. So if you're looking for any cards for any events, it does help you get the cards, and it does help support us creating more content, adding new members, and maybe that new member is even you, so be sure to check them out. I'm going to jump into some gameplay and see exactly what it is. I've covered Gardevoir like 50 bajillion times now. Literally, that probably translates to like 4 or 5 times. But I do want to show you exactly how this deck does play out, roughly, so we have an idea. Okay, so our opponent chose heads. They're flipping the coin. That's okay. And we got tails. So I think we get to go first. And yeah, we definitely want to go first here if we have the opportunity to. That sounds great. Does allow us to evolve our Pokemon quicker before our opponent. So this is very much a going first deck. Now, that's not a great going first hand. Because we got Cresselia, we have to waste our Ultra Ball. But we'll see exactly what we're playing against. So we're playing against Gardevoir Mirror, and that's fine. We did get double Ultra Ball. That's so, like, mildly annoying. Let's go ahead and... like, we could grab Mew and maybe grab Battle VIP Pass. And then we're, like, in a decent spot. If we miss, we're in a pretty bad spot. One thing that I can tell you, don't be upset that Sky Seal Stone is going to be probably in the image, or Town Store is going to be in the image and we didn't use it. This is not a matchup you're going to be using it. Not every single card's used in every single matchup. I think what I want to do here is actually just grab a Radiant Greninja before making an informed decision. We could grab Mew, could have a better chance of getting it. At least if I get something here, I have a decent chance of getting it. Otherwise, those cards are just fodder. Yeah, see, that was huge for us, because now we can get out a couple copies of Ralts. Now, when it comes to anything, we might have wanted to grab the memory, skip Ralts. In this case, I'm just going to grab these Ralts. Ralts, literally saving us from this otherwise pretty rough start. Not going to play the Ultra Ball because we want to have a supporter for next turn. Always giving yourself access to a supporter for next turn. These are like the little things that I see a lot of players making mistakes on, and with our season starting with League Cups, League Challenges, you may have signed up for regionals, or you've heard talk regional, special event, internationals. If you're looking for any help like this, I do a lot of coaching on Manaphy, so if you're looking to get help on Manaphy, by all means hit me up, or one of our other Shuffle Squad members. We have a link below for Manaphy. But yeah, would be totally lit. Shameless plug. So they just have the natural Battle VIP Pass like that. That's cool. Maybe we'll be able to get like Rare Candy, Gardevoir EX turn 2 and start popping off. At least we have some things going on for us. The only thing that sucks is we can't go Ultra Ball. Unless we can't get Rare Candy Gardevoir unless we just top deck Gardevoir. And we specifically want Gardevoir EX. I guess we could top deck a Psychic Energy or a Fog Crystal, pitch those away, pitch whatever we want with Ultra Ball, so that does give us a little bit more out. So thinking about your options is pretty good. As long as we're able to get set up, we're good here. They also should have just used maybe Teleportation Burst. The Battle VIP Pass there kind of sucks for us. Are we going to be able to attack? That's a tough question. I think what we want to do here is actually just pitch these. And grabbing a Kirlia. Or actually, maybe we'll just go Kirlia with Mirage. No, we're not going to go Mirage Dev. We're probably just not getting that out. So let's go for this Kirlia. Evolve that one. And maybe we'll get Rare Candy Gardevoir and we'll be able to do something. But we'll see after our Iono. Okay, that is definitely a Rare Candy Gardevoir kind of moments. And we have 2 energies in our discard pile. So we are looking for one more to get off a Lunar Blast. Or a Moonglow Reverse, depending on how you want to look at this. Now, we're looking for Psychic Energy, so our best chance of doing that, we don't need to worry about our bench, I guess. So let's discard Kirlia and Battle VIP Pass. Let's search our deck for Gardevoir. And before doing that, let's just use Refinement here, discarding our Worker. we are not going to be able to get the knockouts on our opponent's Pokemon. So I think what we want to do here actually is just go Rare Candy into Gardevoir. We have our 3 Ralts. I think what I want to do is actually just sacrifice the Mew. So let's go ahead and put a damage counter onto Cresselia. Again, like, we're just not going to be, like, we're not going to be getting it like that. That's fine. Let's be done with that. We're going to go ahead and retreat. And we're going to try to get set up for at least next turn. Let's see what Mysterious Tail wants to bring us. At least we can thin out a Battle VIP Pass. If they knock out something, it's better for them to knock out Mew than knock out something else. So we didn't have enough energies to attack there. Really weird that we didn't get one off Iono. Really weird that we didn't get a lot of stuff off in general. But, I mean, there's nothing that we could have done there. So we're kind of grasping at straws here. I'm not sure exactly what our opponent's going to be doing. Maybe they're just retreating because they got Iono'd into a worse hands, and maybe no Kirlia. Oh, that's really interesting. Maybe, so not maybe. Our opponent shouldn't have retreated. They should have definitely done Level Ball first, and then decided. I think they're just getting set up more by using Mirage Step and getting a couple Kirlias out into play. That does give us an opportunity to maybe snipe off one of their refinements Kirlias pretty easily, but they are going to be pretty well set up here because they'll have 3 Ralts, 2 Kirlias in play, and yeah, the fact that they're just going to Mirage Step does give us hope that this game will see some success. Yeah, that's fine. There's boss. I mean, so first things first, we're looking for energy. So considering we're looking for energy, let's use Mysterious Tail first to try to thin our deck. The reason why we're trying to thin our deck of energy or of trainer cards is so that when we use our refinement that we have a higher chance of drawing energy. Let's go ahead and use refinement here, discarding Battle VIP Pass. So we're just going to discard fodder. Wow, our deck is really trying to struggle us. Not a lot going on here. And any deck can brick like that, that's fine. I'm just trying to think what would be our best opportunity here. Because we missed us energy again. And our opportunity of getting anything else is really bad. So let's go ahead and if we go 20 there, 20 there, we can move 40 damage wherever. I think we literally just pass our turn here because putting damage counters on just doesn't help us. And I don't want to waste a boss, and Mirage Step in the active is just kind of like lame for our opponent. I think we're just in a bad spot. We've lost a lot of just like resources. Like that was really our opportunity to parry the game. And I mean, I could just quit this game and jump into another game, but I think it's more important to really show you how the mechanics of this work, because either way you're playing a Gardevoir deck against a Gardevoir deck. A lot of the times you're just trying to attack with a single prize card Pokemon into a single prize card Pokemon into a single prize card Pokemon, and I'm sure at that point you kind of get the idea. So in this case we'll have to see how it plays out, and maybe they'll struggle like us to find Kirlia Ralts. Like there's a lot of cards that we could have drawn off that refinement, a lot of cards that we could have drawn off that Mysterious Tail. We're set up and we're ready to go, but we'll play things out the best we possibly can. They still have to like go ahead and knock out our Pokemon. They've overbenched, so they really can't knock out our Gardevoir too much. Like, we'll have to see how it plays out for them. But we might have opportunities here to maybe do something, and maybe is a hard one, but we'll have to see how that plays out. There's our Gardevoir, so at least our Gardevoir is going to allow them to do something. But they're also really low on the energies that they have in their discard pile. 2, just like us, they have a 3rd energy in play, so 3 overall. You want to count your energies in play, and you want to count your energies in your discard pile and in your hands before you make any rash decisions. There's the Shining Arcana. Maybe they just got a bunch of energies and they're going to knock out our Gardevoir up in the active. Okay, that's fine. Rare Candy Gardevoir. Yeah, our opponent has the whole setup here. They are their setup's looking a lot better than ours. Not by much, but it exists. It exists for sure. So they're gonna put 20 to their active, which means we cannot knock this out with Lunar Blast. So try to play around like counts of what your opponent can do, whether that's attacking with Side Shot, whether that's attacking with Slap, whether that's attacking with something. And we are gonna lose our Kirlia here, so we are running on fumes. So our opponent definitely chip away at your opponent's setup when it's weaker like this. Like if we knock out our opponent's Kirlia, that would be great, but there's nothing that we can actively do about it. Hooray! We could potentially discard that. I think what I want to do is first is just go Mysterious Veil. At least Level Ball kind of maybe gives us an opportunity, some kind of hope. Because we can get Refinement set up nicely. I don't know if 2 Kirlias is enough here. That is going to be cutting it a little bit low. We are going to lose. We do have Ralts and Kirlia in there. I think for Refinements, I probably am just going to discard Rare Candy. Actually, I'm probably going to discard Zacian because it's just not going to come out. You can see that we're literally just struggling here. So hard. There's another energy. So when it comes to maybe getting a knockout, we can get a knockout with Kirlia, or with Cresselia, I should say. So let's go Boss's Orders, bring up our opponent's Kirlia. Let's go Psychic Embrace. So 2 damage counters go here. Another one's going to go here. We're going to go ahead, retreat, send up, Cresselia. We're going to use Psychic Embrace after retreating. And I think, like, since they have just a bunch of Ralts, I want to just put Collapsed Stadium on them. Like, discard one of your Ralts, you lost a Kirlia, that really sucks for you. Could have maybe done Collapsed Stadium before doing it. I don't see a world where they don't not discard a Ralts. But sometimes Collapsed Stadium can slow your opponent down a little bit. Yeah, so there's the Ralts, there's that. So we did kind of have a pretty good turn. And when I say that, like, it's just because, like, we are able to take out Kirlia here. And that's cool with me. So there's our first prize card. And our opponent's now only up a prize card when you think of it like that. Like, yeah, they can knock out our Cresselia, but maybe we can get something going here. Like, we have a little bit of wiggle room. So there's their Cresselia. Maybe their Cresselia will knock out our Cresselia. If we hold on to all of our resources, it's better for them not to have Gardevoir up in the active, right? Because we could potentially knock those out. As we scale up damage and energies eventually, we are able to maybe knock out this Gardevoir EX. Okay, there's another Gardevoir EX. So even if we knock out Gardevoir EX, that's fine. Still no Sky Seal Stone would have never worked there because they're not a V-Star or a V-Max. But we'll see. We'll continue playing out. And the thing that I like particularly about this matchup is if we lose, that's fine. It shows you how to play the Gardevoir matchup on both sides, or where your opponent may have made an error or anything else like that. Okay, at least they're going to be chasing the Cresselia up in the active, I think. I really don't have too many problems with this hands. This is where all of our energies were earlier on that we were looking for. Okay, yeah, probably just going to knock out Cresselia with Cresselia. Or they're going to go ahead and go Moonglow Reverse, knocking out our Kirlia. That does not get blocked by Manaphy or nothing, so there's nothing that we can do to set up. If you are playing a Gardevoir mirror, do not get your Manaphy out. At least at the time of this recording. They should actually be going Moonglow Reverse, knocking out our Kirlia on the bench. That would be the worst possible case for us. So putting 2 damage counters on Cresselia, 2 damage counters on a Kirlia, and 2 damage counters on a Gardevoir with Psychic Embrace. But we can only hope that our opponent does not do it. 20 there. Yeah, you can tell that we're getting Moonglow reversed. So they know what they're doing. That's fine. Definitely probably should have put it on the other Kirlia. And the reason why you put it on the other Kirlia is because that could evolve into Shining Arcana. Having the energy on both Gardevoir EX is probably just a miss. Yep, there's that AD. Cool. At least we have our attacker. We can do 40. We can maybe knock out their Kirlia on the bench, and then they lose their refinements. So that's fine. We have enough Pokemon. We need one more Psychic Pokemon at the very least. So before we do anything, we know that our other Ralts is prize. Let's try to draw into it. And when I want to say draw into it, we did put Super Rod at the bottom of our deck, so I'm just pre-shuffling up our deck. Because Iono is just going to keep it there, and we want to have a higher chance of drawing into it. Word. Let's go Ralts. Maybe Ralts Kirlia sounds like the play. Do we decide to put down Zash? I don't think they'll have enough energies to really come after us. Yeah, let's go down Zash. I'm going to go ahead and we've already used concealed cards. So let's go ahead and attach an energy here. And then let's go ahead and use Iono. Hopefully we're able to find a Stadium and a Ralts. We did find a Ralts. We didn't find a Stadium. So again, it is like a little bit hurts, but it is what it is. There's only so much that we can do. And yeah, I think like this is just a game where we do not have enough resources to make this happen. Our opponent has 1 energy there. We're not going to take care of their Pokemon. We can't knock out their active. So I think we literally are trying to draw a prize card and hoping now that our opponent does not knock us out back by doing 180 damage. If they do, like, we just lose this game. If they don't, we have a pretty good chance of winning this game. And we'll kind of go through those in a second. I actually am going to go Pal Pad and put back Bossin and Worker. So we have a chance of drawing into those. So we can maybe go Boss Gardevoir next turn. Again, Pipe Dream, it is what it is. We're going to see how far we can get in this game. But it does draw a prize card. If we just sit here and pass, they're just going to go Moonglow reverse on us for the entirety of the game. And maybe that would have been a good turn to attack with Gardevoir EX, just having more HP. We kind of committed to the Zacian play and didn't get anything else going for us, so that's okay. Yeah, they can just get the knockout with Gardevoir. So we'll see if our opponent decides to do that. Their Gardevoir knocks out our Gardevoir. We don't have an attacking Pokemon except Zacian, and then they have things that are lined up. So I think this game is pretty much over. I wasn't thinking of Gardevoir when it came down to it. But yeah, this is just really like, you have different attacks that you could be using on both sides. Regardless of anything, this was a rough setup game for us. Some games are not going to have this rough setup. And there's a handful of things that could have worked out better for us, or not. I think like this game was like literally the difference in the first 2 turns of the game. I was drawing 1 more Psychic Energy, which is actually bizarre that we didn't. When your back's against the wall like this, it's one of those things where you're like, if I'm playing best of 3, I'm probably going to the next game. This game, like for me, like if I wasn't recording a video, I think conceding this game is the best play. Because I don't see an end goal here. I don't see a win con. Like, my win con is my opponent disconnecting on PTCG Live right now. And obviously that's not a valid win con. Like it's like you're sitting across from your opponent being like, well, I hope they just disappear and the judge is like, they didn't make it to the match or something like that. Like it's just bad. And there's a certain point where you have to realize that those games are just like not happening. But yeah, the Town Store, if you are playing against a deck that is a V-Star or VMAX, can be advantageous. If you are playing for a Seal Stone, it's nice to have it on a Zacian. It is nice in sudden death just to have another Zacian if you're playing in the top 8 of a League Cup. There's a lot of things that are just good, but we'll see how our opponent reacts to the situation. I'm fine with Iono. Our hand sucks here. We did have the Ralts, we just did not have the stadium, and you can see like our hand is just like, it's a mess. Like we did not get a solid foundation of attackers. I just can't tell if our opponent's going to go for it or not. Psychic Embrace. Yeah. To me, this seems just like the ideal, the only thing to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's their Miracle Force. We'll try to get a knockout back if possible, but right now we just don't have that as an option. We're going to have to send up Mew. We actually have to go Mysterious Tail first, searching our deck for nothing. Because we're trying to draw into a Stadium card so we could maybe see more cards. Or not a Stadium card, a supporter card. We just didn't get there, so we're going to give our opponent the well played. And we are going to concede this game. So yeah, nothing that we could have done. Maybe we could have drawn a prize card. Maybe we could have done a few things. I just don't think it's going to matter in that case where it's like, we're at 3 prize cards, our opponent's at 1. We're too far away. And that's what we got going on for this video today. I mean, we didn't get a setup as well as we would have liked, but we also played against Gardevoir Mirror, so it does show you how this deck does work a little bit. Hopefully it does show you enough where you're like, yeah, maybe I want to try this out, maybe I want to try out the list, maybe I'm a Gardevoir player, and I know that Zach's just showing the good, bad, and ugly. Regardless, I think the list is an absolute banger when it does set up. Sometimes Pokemon games are not always going to be how you want it to be, but the list is available in the description for you to try out. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch up with all you later. Peace out, and have a great one. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.